Hey y'all, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. It is 11 o'clock here, so it is probably 1 o'clock lunchtime for some of you on the East Coast. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far. Hello, Sassy, Ari. How are you? I guess I could wear my glasses today. All right, y'all, this one won't be long, but we're going to do part 2 of Dr. Kenny's Smiles. So for those of you that might not have seen the first video that we did on Dr. Kenny, this is going to be just kind of getting the information out once again on another platform. Even though some people have covered this on YouTube, I figured knowledge is power. And this man has connections to the LDS Church. He had patients in his complete and utter control. There has been some updates to the story since last time we talked about it. So we're going to just kind of dive in. I have to give once again credit to the TikTokers who were on this and have done an incredible deep dive on it. They have done great. So we're going to use Becca's content once again because she has laid it out and done an exceptional job. If you are on TikTok, please give her a follow. Her name is Becca Day. I will post her link in the comments in a minute, and I will put it in the description of the video also because she is excellent. And her voice is going to be so helpful in spaces like this. So, hey, Britt. Hey, Jenny. Hey, Scorpio. Yeah, I don't blame you, Britt. Hey, Marie. Hey, Jane. If you guys missed it too, I posted a video. If you want to laugh and just some mindless ridiculousness, I did post a video on my second channel. It's A Bug's Life. For some reason, I have a fascination with bugs, or they have a fascination with me these days. I have no idea what it is, but it's just a little fun video. It's 14 minutes long. I spent over a half hour with this. I guess it's some sort of hornworm following me around this morning and ridiculousness, but it's pretty funny if you ask me. I don't know. I get entertained really easily, as you guys know. Oh, you think it's a moth? That's why it's big though, Scorpio. It's like it's 4 or 5 inches long. It's a big old bugger, but it's cool. If you like that kind of stuff and don't mind bugs, it's nothing scary. I mean, nothing to lose sleep over. I know some of y'all can't handle bugs, but for some reason I see all of them. Okay. So we're going to start off with NBC News. So NBC, this is from a while ago. This was one of their exclusive culture and trends segments. So it starts off saying social media famous dentist faces backlash on TikTok after women claim he sent inappropriate messages. It goes on to say, this was September 22nd too. So we're kind of going back in time. But again, knowledge is power, because unfortunately, a lot of people in these positions seem to just kind of reinvent themselves and move on, and they continue to go. And y'all, for some reason, my notifications are not working over here. I'm definitely shadow banned for some reason on this account. It is what it is. So just so you guys know, like, notifications are not going out at all on my videos, and it is what it is. We're just going to continue going. So Dr. Kenneth Wilstead, the caption of the video says, Dr. Kenneth Wilstead, who goes by Dr. Kenny Smiles on the Instagram and Dr. Kenny Smiles official on TikTok, has been called out by some women online who say he's crossed the line. A Texas dentist who is known for his brash, edgy humor on social media, where he has hundreds of thousands of followers, has been accused of bullying and sexual harassment by several women who say they received inappropriate messages from his official social media accounts. Dr. Kenneth Wilstead, who goes by Dr. Kenny Smiles on Instagram and Dr. Kenny Smiles official on TikTok, often shares his smile makeovers on social media. The videos typically show a person in his dentist chair discussing how their teeth got to the state they're in, and the video cuts to the patient gazing at their new perfect smile. The videos rack up hundreds of thousands of views on platforms like TikTok, where Wilstead has more than 700,000 followers, and on Instagram, where he has more than 500,000 followers. But on August 31st, when Wilstead shared a call out for a new reality show, some women online started to raise their concerns about how he treats his female patients, as well as women who seek out dental help. NBC News spoke with 4 women about their experiences with Wilstead, who is 43. Why are the guys like, I'm sorry, but guys like this just give decent men a bad name. Like, it's really sad. And please understand that there are incredible dentists out here that are absolutely appalled by this. Some have been speaking out too. Okay. 2 women who were prospective patients said they received sexually explicit messages sent from his account, but never met him in person. Another woman said she received bullying messages from his account on social media. A 4th woman said she had filed a complaint against him after he swore at her and told her that her dental problems were in her head. Last year, a patient of Wilstead's sued him for medical malpractice, claiming he touched her inappropriately. A jury trial is scheduled for the case, according to the 14th District Court docket. I can't talk today. Wilstead is the only dentist listed under the About Us page on the website for his practice, Smile Again Dental. It's unclear whether other dentists work there. In a lengthy email statement to NBC News on Friday, Wilstead said, "I have a staff who help handle my social media. The character I play, both online and in my office, has been something I have used to break the tension of a stressful experience. And unfortunately, sometimes people who don't have full context feel like I crossed the line. And it's their right to have their own opinions," he wrote. "I respect that right. However," he said, he believes the current situation stems from a blowup of a few written comments. In regard to the legal action being taken against him, he said, "A woman is suing me and falsely accusing me of touching or grabbing her buttocks." He wrote that he is totally innocent of any inappropriate touching of that woman. Okay. A spokesperson for Meta said it removed 2 of Wilstead's videos on Instagram after receiving a request for comment from NBC News, saying the videos violated the platform's community guidelines. The spokesperson also said that after reviewing Wilstead's account, it has placed him on short-term ban from using Instagram Live, citing repeated rule breaking. A spokesperson at TikTok did not provide NBC News with a comment about Wilstead's content. Taylin was one of the first people to speak out on TikTok about Wilstead allegedly being sexually inappropriate in messages. Her video gained traction this week after it was shared by Ophelia Nichols, who is often referred to Mama Tot on TikTok. Nichols, who has more than 12 million followers on the platform, had previously elevated Wilstead's content after the dentist offered to fix for free a tooth she had broken. In her first video about him, which is no longer on the platform, she suggested Wilstead offer his services to someone more in need. He later fixed the teeth of 3 people for free. Taylin, 27, told NBC News that she had jumped at the opportunity for a free smile makeover because in the past she had been quoted as needing $60,000 worth of dental work. She posted an audition video, then messaged Wilstead on Instagram. At first, Taylin, I'm using her first name, Taylin received a message that said Wilstead would respond to her shortly. Then she received a follow-up message that appeared to be from Wilstead himself, in which he explained he would be traveling to potential patients' homes to decide if they were right for his show. NBC News has reviewed the messages. "Please send me 10 more pictures of your size, shape, and stuff like that, please. This show is about a lot of things beyond teeth. So that will help me," the message read, adding clothing optional along with the skull emoji. "You took my most vulnerable moment and one I would never post online. And that was supposed to be funny," Taylin said, adding that she felt taken advantage of by Wilstead's alleged remark. Annalie Timmerman, Annalie, we'll just call her, 32, said she was inspired to come forward after seeing others, including Taylin, share their experiences. Timmerman was one of the makeover hopefuls who posted an audition on TikTok seeking to become the patient of Wilstead's. In the audition video, Annalie, I think that's how you pronounce her name, cries as she describes the genetic condition she suffers from called, I'm not even going to attempt that one because I have no idea, which results in missing teeth. That's her video, which we can look at on TikTok. After posting her video, Annalie realized that Wilstead followed her on Instagram. She sent him a direct message asking if he had seen her video and apologized for being an ugly crier. A response from Wilstead's verified account, which has been viewed by NBC News, reads, "Just wanted to have sex with you. It's fine." And NBC says that they've seen these messages. Okay. My message from him had sat in my Instagram messages for a couple days before I ever said anything about it because it is intimidating. She said, "Of course, I wanted to be like, who the hell does this guy think he is? But he has such a huge platform." In response to the clothing optional message allegation, Wilstead referred to his staff. "We were running a contest and one of them made the comment clothing optional, knowing how I sometimes joke with my patients," he wrote. "The same is true of the comment that I wanted to have sex with the woman who called herself ugly. It was a misjudgment of my staff trying to impersonate the way they thought I might speak. I don't defend either of the statements, which were in poor taste." So he's not taking any accountability. He's blaming it on the staff. He also said that his patients know that he makes videos and use their photos before and after to show results because they sign off on my right to do so. Again, this is no problem for almost all of my patients. In the aftermath of Annalie and Taylor's videos, many began resurfacing some of Wilstead's previous content, saying how his behavior in some of these videos is problematic. In an August 17th video on his Instagram page, Wilstead is heard making a joke about his sex life to a 90-year-old patient and the people who came in with her. In a September 11th video on Instagram, he calls the patient's teeth disgusting. A spokesperson for Meta, which is Facebook, said that they removed the September 11th video after a request for comment made by NBC News. Meta owns Instagram too, I think. The Texas Board of Dental Examiners lists 3 disciplinary actions on Wilstead's licensing page. The disciplinary action, that's what it should say. The discipline took place in 2015, 2019, and 2021. The 2015 action stemmed from Wilstead prescribing controlled substances for non-dental reasons, according to an agreed settlement order. Wilstead was required to pay a fine, take a continued education courses, and surrender his Drug Enforcement Administration and Department of Safety permits for his controlled substances, among other punishments. In 2019, disciplinary action stemmed from an incident in which Wilstead was found to have not provided the minimum standard of dental care, which included failing to do periodontal probing as well as failing to take cementation radiographs while fitting crowns on 2 teeth. The board has also found Wilstead failed to keep and maintain proper records and abandoned a patient according to agreed settlement order. The final disciplinary action states that Wilstead failed to provide the minimum standard of care, failed to maintain proper records, and failed to provide the board with a business record affidavit, according to agreed settlement order. We did look at those some in part 1. The Texas Board of Dental Examiners declined to comment on the allegations against Wilstead or the nature of his content. The Texas Board of Dental Examiners, which oversees disciplinary action as well as licensing, said it could not disclose the number of complaints. It's unclear how many complaints have been filed against Wilstead in total. However, the board referred NBC News to the public license search portion of its website where disciplinary action is viewable. Amanda, 43, was a complainant behind the 2019 agreed settlement order. Her complaint stemmed from a February 1st, 2017 appointment. Moore, who says she suffers from debilitating obsessive compulsive disorder, said she had begun visiting a practice in which Wilstead worked at the time. For her care, she could not afford at her regular dentist. In a complaint dated February 25th, 2017, which was sent via email to the Texas Board of Dental Examiners, in an email dated March 5th, 2017, Moore claims Wilstead exploded at her after she came into his office worried about a dark spot on her teeth. In her complaint, Moore said, "Wilstead told me, 'I can't believe you're here wasting my effing time,' and told her the dark spot on her teeth was in your effing head." The 2019 agreed settlement order states that part of the disciplinary action is being sanctioned because Wilstead abandoned a patient on February 1st, 2017, the date Moore included in her complaint as the day of her appointment with Wilstead. Who would find this ethical? I mean, doctors and dentists have to take the Hippocratic oath, Moore said. This is despicable. Wilstead said all 3 disciplinary actions were for minor situations and have been expunged. I learned from each situation, he wrote in his statement. I don't know what he learned, but last year, Wilstead was sued for medical malpractice by a woman who alleged that he made inappropriate comments and groped her buttocks. She also alleged in the lawsuit that she saw photos taken of a different patient's cleavage, according to the lawsuit. That case is ongoing. The plaintiff in the case declined to comment on NBC News. In addition to generally denying the woman's allegations regarding the inappropriate photos of her chest, Wilstead said, "This is the first time I have heard that false accusation." Lauren, 30, said she felt bullied by Wilstead when she reached out seeking dental treatment in February after losing teeth during 2 pregnancies. In their exchange, which was viewed by NBC News, Spalding sent images of her teeth and asked for an estimate. When she misunderstood a message about the quote, he allegedly called her a dipshit. Spalding said she later fell into a depression after her interaction with Wilstead, lost her job, began taking antidepressants, and struggled with suicidal ideation. "It just takes one harsh word to make someone go over the line," Spalding said. "It could just take someone as vile as him pushing someone over the edge, you know." She and the other women said that they hope that by speaking out, others won't be subjected to the misbehavior they've experienced. "What if I was like a little 19-year-old and more brittle and more vulnerable," she said. "That's the part that gets me." And in his email statement, Wilstead said he doesn't recall the incident Spalding alluded to. "If someone wants to complain now to be a part of the vocal minority on social media, to make them feel like they are part of something, I get it," he wrote. "That is the nature of the society we live in. It seems like a feeding frenzy of people wanting to join the Hate Dr. Kenny Club, and that is their right." However, he said he is disheartened by the situation. He's so disheartened, but he is blaming his staff. He's had numerous sanctions by the board and continues to do the same things. Granted, I have to say the man does good work. He does really beautiful smiles. However, what they look like isn't always what happens either, because in part 1, we listened to a lady that had sucked in part of the form and had to have surgery to have that little chunk removed. That's a little iffy to me. Oh, you're good, Bama. Sorry, I should have given you guys a warning. Jenny, absolutely. He's taken advantage of people in very vulnerable situations, in my opinion. Very vulnerable positions. Okay, so now we're going to go back to Becca's content because I think it's important. Okay. Let me find, okay, hold on. Let me make sure that you guys can see what I'm looking at. All right, here we go. So again, this is from Becca Day. I will post her link in the description. Okay, buckle up, friends.
A woman has reached out to share her bizarre experience with Dr. Kenny, and this one makes me very concerned for his wife's safety. So this woman reached out to him inquiring on his dental services, asking him questions. How long does it last? He said 20 to 30 years. She said, "That is so worth it. I will definitely be coming to you for my smile makeover, hopefully within the next year." He then sends this weird dancing gif, and then he sends her a screenshot of her Instagram, a picture of her and her child. And he says to that screenshot, "You're literally perfect." And leading up to this conversation, it was nothing but talking about her potentially getting her teeth done. No kind of non-professional conversation at all. But then he says, "One day my wife will catch a really unfortunate illness and you and I can get married like 6 months later, okay?" She obviously did not respond to this. I mean, how do you even respond to that? So he followed that up with, "Have a good night. I'll be here when you're ready. Okay, love?" She again did not respond to this, but the next day he texted her again saying, "Can you send me a picture of your teeth?" And she responded, "Yes, I can tomorrow." And he heart reacted to that message. This woman ultimately chose to not go to Dr. Kenny as she did not feel comfortable after this situation and seeing things that were coming out online. But honestly, this text message is frightening, knowing the character of Dr. Kenny Smiles.
That is a little unsettling if you ask me. Like, just the way he always is trying to, like, it's nonstop. He constantly has something negative, something.
Here is another.
Hold on. We're going to go back over here. Yeah, he's absolutely a creep. Again, this is Becca Day. For those of you guys that are just coming in, she did an incredible job on this deep dive.
Example of Dr. Kenny being a bad dentist and breaking board protocol. Riley was actually the one to dig this up and bring it to my attention, so I'm going to tag her below. Years ago, Dr. Kenny was on a podcast. I believe this was 2016, and it was right after he was initially arrested. We talked about his arrest in episode 1 or 2, I believe. But he went on this podcast to talk about what it was like after his arrest, and he shared that he began practicing under his middle name. Here's a transcript of the podcast. You can see right here. He says, "For a long time, it was hard. I really felt like my name couldn't be used anymore without feeling like a true criminal. I actually had to change my name. When I got this job here in Marshall, I actually changed it to my middle name, Edmund, which I hate that name. It was really, really hard on me to introduce myself to every patient as Edmund Wilstead." This is a newspaper excerpt from almost a decade ago. He's practicing under Edmund Wilstead.
But he did nothing wrong. Everybody else was doing something wrong, yet he changed his name.
But if you go look at the state board's requirement for their dental professionals, you can see in this excerpt here, it says, since the name under which a dentist conducts his or her practice may be a factor in the selection process of the patient, the use of a trade name or an assumed name that is false or misleading in any material respect is unethical. So him using a different name than the name that appeared on his dental license is a breach of conduct and completely unethical, because he did not want his patients to know that he had been arrested for fraud and overprescribing his patients and writing prescriptions for himself, his family, and his friends. So if you have had a terrible experience with a man named Edmund Wilstead, this is also Dr. Kenny.
Isn't that wild? Totally tries. Yes, Jenny O. Yes. Agreed. He knew what he was doing. He totally attempted to skirt around his wrongdoings. He was so knowledgeable about what's going on. I don't know. Some of this just makes me like,
hello, friends.
It's wild to think that people will go to this extent. Now, again, don't forget that he has ties to the LDS Church. He was a missionary for the LDS Church. Thank you, Elle. Elle coming in hot. Thank you, Elle. But he has ties to the LDS Church. And if you go back to videos, those of you that follow the Tim Ballard stuff, we talked about the things that LDS members are excommunicated for. Moral stuff like this would be top of the list. And they haven't said a word. Of course, they also haven't said a word about Chad Daybell, Lori Vallow, Josh Pell, Ruby Frankie, Jody Hildebrandt. I'd be interested to find out if they promoted this guy within the LDS circles, because truthfully, if you have a dentist, a doctor, like an attorney in your ward that you live in, again, a ward is like your neighborhood. They're divided. It's totally different in most states compared to Utah. But so in Texas, he probably has a ward that's, a little bit more spread out, but they all attend one. So within that ward, like, they know who's dentists, lawyers. And if you ask anybody, which they do, who do we go to? That's who they send him to. Like, hey, go to this guy, oh, he's a ward, he's a ward member. He's an LDS member. So they also promote within all the time. But let's continue on.
I've been MIA all day. I've been dealing with tons of stuff, gathering information, fact checking, vetting receipts. It's just a lot. But these next 3 hours, just buckle in. So first of all, before we get started, let's start on a high note. The board got back to me today. This is the first not automated response I've gotten. This is like from an actual person, actual email. This is the investigative supervisor of the Texas State Board. Good afternoon, Miss Day. I see that you emailed us regarding Dr. Wilstead. We are aware of these allegations and have initiated an investigation. If you could provide your evidence along with the attached complaint form, it would be greatly appreciated. We are taking this seriously, but we need complaints to be submitted in order to investigate them. If you believe a criminal act has been committed, please contact Assistant Chief St. Clair of the Garland PD at this email address right here. I'm leaving this for everyone. Here, I zoomed it a little bit. Investigative Supervisor, Texas State Board of Dental Examiners. So
if you or anybody you know have been a patient of his, have interacted with him, because unfortunately his reach on social media has been extensive. And if you know anybody, there's the information.
that's great news. We're making progress. Also, I've been talking to multiple different news outlets today, and there's going to be mainstream stories run about Dr. Kenny in the coming week. Okay, but the fun is over. Let's get serious. So Dr. Kenny does not like people that look like me, and we're going to talk about it. So Dr. Kenny sent a text conversation that he was having with a potential patient who was Black. And I guess they were wanting a discount of some kind. And he screenshotted the conversation and sent it to the source providing me the screenshot. He writes, "This is the crap that makes me just angry emoji. Black people literally
Trigger warning.
all ask for free work all day, every day, and they're literally just expectant. You have no idea the ratio. I literally answer each and every one too, just because I don't ever want to stereotype and miss one that has saved up and needs their teeth fixed. But man, it's exhausting dealing with the ignorance and the entitlement all day and night through these countless messages that always end the same." He then goes on to complain about this potential patient who reached out to him. He then continues to complain about this patient and then says, "I'm like, B word, I don't think you know what the word deal means. Oh, deal with God for blessings. Go F your inward self."
Yeah, you can see what it says on the screen there at the bottom of your screen. If you pull it out, he's absolutely, in my opinion, a racist.
There are more women who have come forward with their stories, and I'm going to share them next. I just wanted to show you guys this just to confirm that this man is not only a predator, but he's also racist.
I mean, truthfully, though, does it really shock anybody considering like they follow Joseph Smith? Anybody really shocked by this? If you know the teachings of the LDS Church, a lot of the foundation is very racist. Like there's predatory behavior, racist behavior within the LDS Church. So granted, he spent a mission out of the country, but it's disgusting. Absolutely, Glory. Hey, Sammy. Hey, Toys. Listening in the bushes while you do your nails. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one because there is a couple more that I wanted to show you. All right, we're going to skip that one.
Another young woman has come forward to share her traumatizing experience with Dr. Kenny. This woman reached out to me today and shared her experience that occurred last year. I'm going to read it all to you. "Hi, Becca. I want to share my encounter with Dr. Kenny. I had my teeth done by him last year. I flew out there from Chicago. During our conversations leading up to me coming there, he would ask me uncomfortable things like if my boyfriend would be coming with me. When I said no, he asked to come to my hotel room. At my appointment, while he was making my temporaries in the back office lab, he did try many times getting me to come sit on his lap while he did it. I didn't say anything because I have a boyfriend and I didn't want drama when I still had to go back for my permanence. He made the entire process extremely uncomfortable for me." And then up here, I asked permission to share her story anonymously, and she said, "Of course you can share my story. He is a disgusting person. I really hope his wife believes these women and she gets far away from him. He also recommended that I stay in that same comfort inn, the one that we talked about a few victims back.
See, and that's problematic. Why is he needing I just don't even understand that. Why is he needing these young girls to stay in that specific hotel? Part one, if you didn't see that, she goes through and talks about and shows text messages between him and another alleged victim that he attempted to get to stay at this specific hotel. It's just all of it is very predatory, in my opinion, again. And he holds the power for such a long period of time, too. Don't forget that, y'all. These aren't just like a one-day appointment. They have the permanents that have to be made that sometimes can take up to a year. So they're with a temporary and they have to go back and do fittings and so on and so forth. So this isn't just a one and done. He's holding that power and control over these people who are just wanting to fix their smile for lengthy periods of time. The good Nunya, I think a few of them have, from my understanding. Stitching, that's amazing. Yeah, that's where he grew up. He used to row for Snohomish. Hey, Blank Slate. Hey, Hope. Queen Bella. Hey, T. Okay, we're going to continue going. Yes, Scorpio, right? Just found guilty on all counts in Florida. Boy in the box. Looking at 35 plus years. It's a beautiful day. Yes. Is it Rowan? Rowan? That's amazing, Glory. Thank you for letting us know that. That's great. I hope more of these people get. Oh, the Warren Jeffs stuff is absolutely interesting. Oh, that's great. Glory, that's wonderful news. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Blank slate. Creepy. Okay, let's continue on.
Got chills when I watched that TikTok of yours specifically. I'm sure that's where he hooks up with female patients / guilts them into sleeping with him.
Do you think he potentially knows somebody that works there that covers up his wrongdoings for him, or he gets a discount by the hour or something? Do you think maybe he did the teeth of somebody that works at that hotel and therefore they just kind of out of sight, out of mind thing? What's your guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comments.
Also only had one really young female assistant there when I went for my follow-up appointment the next day. And that's when he invited me to come into his lab, which was a small back office where he made the temporary crowns. As I stood there and watched him, he told me to come sit on his lap. I laughed it off, and then he stood up and tried to pull me in for a kiss, to which I laughed off again. I then left the office and went back to the room I was in. I was terrified to go back for my permanents. I did anyway, and he commented on the comfy clothes I was wearing and said, "You couldn't have worn something sexier? You have to take a pic with me, and you come in here dressed like a homeless person." Then
What? Who cares what they're... Do you guys dress sexy when you go to the dentist? Anybody? Because I sure as hell don't. I hate going to the dentist, first of all. Secondly, I'm always in comfy clothes, as you guys know, so dressing sexy would not be what I would do for a dentist. Sorry, not going to happen. Blank slate, there's actually quite a few dentists that are stepping in to help. There's a lot of dentists that are speaking out. Thankfully, these are not common. Like, yes, there is more of them, more Dr. Kenny Smiles out there, unfortunately, that do abuse their power and authority and harm their patients. But thankfully, it's not a huge epidemic. Like, there's a lot of really good dentists. In fact, if you're in Utah and you need orthodontist, I highly, highly suggest Dr. Timothy Neibauer. Incredible. He does cosmetic stuff. Yes, he is LDS, but he is incredible. His family's beautiful. His staff's amazing. Kenzie was a patient of his for over 3 years and absolutely loved him. He is incredible, and his family's great too. His couple of his kids work for him, actually, which is pretty typical in a lot of these situations. But Dr. Kenny, gives the good dentist bad names for sure. But this is just the abuse of these men.
after my permanents, I had to come back again the next day for a follow-up. That night, he asked to come to my hotel again. I said, "Don't you have a wife?" He then sent a gift saying he was just kidding. Then when I got back to Chicago, he texted me and said to look through my book, a book I had been reading that was in my suitcase in one of his offices while I was getting my teeth checked. I found a handwritten note from him. It essentially said that even though I have faced so many hardships, I am beautiful and I should make the most of life and don't get distracted by any boyfriends. I know he was referring to breaking up with my boyfriend. I thought the weirdest part about the note was that he went through my suitcase to place it there. I'm speechless.
What? Why is he going through people's personal belongings? I'd like to see that note, but remember, most of this is alleged. These are their stories that she has uncovered, but this is just so wrong on so many levels.
Riley and I just...
All right. Let me show you one more here.
Found something huge. There's a video up on Dr. Kenny's YouTube channel right now. It has about 200 views. I'm going to play the video for you, but Riley and I noticed something extremely disturbing about...
Okay, and this is absolutely on his YouTube channel, which I'll pop over there and show you the actual video of it. But remember, he was stating that he was going to be doing a reality TV show. But if you notice the cameras throughout, that's what this is about, is the cameras. And we'll go look at the original.
About his dental office. So I am going to play this video for you first, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay, ma'am, you're gonna get a felony today.
You can go, honey. Hey, how are you? I'm Dr. Kenny.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. You ready to have some fun?
Yeah.
All right. He's the best. All right, open wide. Wow. You can really open wide. Open wide, yes, you can.
I don't know about y'all, but I get comedians, I get the jokes. I have a crass sense of humor, I guess, at times too. But how would that make you guys feel if a dentist said that to you? Honestly, like, how would you feel about that? Let's go back to this.
Suction, suction, suction. Close your lips. Close your lips around that.
Wow, you're really good at that.
That's his daughter.
Keep your hands out of my wife's sucking mouth!
Okay, so super weird video, super unprofessional. Don't even know why he's doing that with his daughter as the assistant. That is so weird. There are cameras all over this man's dental examination room. Not in the offices, not in the waiting rooms. Tons of them in the exam rooms. I'm going to show you. So obviously we have this one here. There's one right here, and look at the angle that it's in. I'm going to zoom it out. Here's the camera zoomed out. Look at it right there. Look at the angle that it's pointed down to. Why would a dentist have that? There's also a camera right there. Chat, let me know if you've ever been to a dentist office where you are constantly being filmed at every angle while you're getting your teeth done. Let me know.
Have any of you ever had that happen to you? Any of you ever been in there? I mean, it would be, right? Yeah. None yet. Absolutely. Can you imagine? Like, and I get the whole, okay, so he was trying to do this reality TV show. I get that. I get that he thought he was going to make it big, something like that, but I don't know. So let's go over here. Let's actually switch. Let's go over here. So this is his YouTube channel, which he does have. And here's that video there.
Okay, ma'am, you're gonna get a felony today.
You can do it, honey. Hey, how are you? I'm Dr. Kenny.
Pay close attention as you're scanning around the room here. I'll make you guys full screen so you guys can see it closer. There's a camera to the far. It would be my left-hand side, but there's one right behind him. Your dentist did murder his wife, Bree. Really? I mean.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. You ready to have some fun?
Yeah.
All right. He's the best. All right, open wide. Wow. You can really open wide. Open wide, yes, you can. Suction. Close your lips. Close your lips around that.
Wow, you're really good at that.
Keep your hands out of my wife's sucking mouth! So,
All right. I don't even know what to say about that. Like, it,
Okay, man, we're gonna get
back here for a minute. I'm going to pull up another one because this stuff just. He's got another video.
she was all in to find.
I'm going to show you, but I want you to pay close attention to the title of it. Monster Mouth Makeover. Holy crap, Brie, that's crazy. Monster Mouth Makeover.
Finding out that I was a dentist because she was like,
Yeah.
And this is Tammy, who is a comedian. Remember, she is.
then let's fix it then.
If you don't know who she is, she goes by the name Trailer Trash Tammy.
Can I message you and set
Yeah.
something up?
Yeah, we can fuck later for sure.
Oh, hell yeah. In the office.
And the thing about it is that's one thing. This is the type of content she does, right? So it's appropriate. She's a comedian. He's doing part of the comedy act with her. However, this is what he's doing with normal patients, y'all. Like, he doesn't have appropriate time and place. So people are like, oh, this is just who he is. You know, like, look at these videos. Okay, we're going to look at him, but he's doing this to typical patients that are not going in with consenting to be treated like this.
I had her come in and we were able to get her fixed up. And then after her appointment, she was so impressed with me. I mean, after something like that, you're pretty much linked for life. I mean, we're like pretty much fuck buddies now. So naturally, she did bring in some of her friends, one of them being Justin, who brought in the most fucked up mouth I've ever seen.
Come on. One slowpoke.
Hello, honeys. My name is Justina Armistead. I'm a YouTuber and also collab with Chelsea Lynn. I was always in a toothache pain. Like every other week, I was in toothache pain every single day. First impression was like, oh, wow.
She was all.
So, okay, I can get the fact of a comedy thing with Chelsea Lynn. I can get that. I can get behind that. But I can't get behind him doing this to real patients, real actual patients. And let's continue to look a little bit further. And then we'll go back to TikTok for a moment. Where'd the one go that I wanted to show you? Hold on just a moment. There's one on here. Sorry, give me a second. I saved it, but then I was like, where? No, I don't know where it goes. Yeah, he's tried to make it big for quite some time. Oh, this one.
Today we can.
This bothered me because he's not only working with adults, but these are young girls.
And we got Matt a brand new set of teeth.
We kind of all just showed up here and then surprised him, and
We were here for USA training, and then it all just worked out that we got to come in today. It's 4th of July. Dr. Kenny came in and he wanted to get Matt his new smile, and it's been awesome.
We're friends and we're teammates too.
a smile can really make someone's confidence go up. So I think it's great that he does all that stuff for people.
There we go.
But yeah, I told him, let's come on in. It's a Sunday, but I just don't have a life.
I don't know. That really bothered me that he's working with young kids like that. Like, again, you're allowed to have your own personal feelings on all of this, but this is one of an extremely egregious problem, in my opinion. And the fact that he had complete trust of all of these young ladies, older ladies, all of it is disturbing. Okay, a couple more, and then we will be done with part 2.
Employee of Dr. Kenny Smiles has finally spoken out, and stay till the end because this former employee has an audio recording that they have shared with me of Dr. Kenny being abusive to his staff. Let's talk about this employee's experience working for Dr. Kenny, and then we'll listen to the audio. I was his video creator for the last months of 2022. I'm a working professional. I was seeking a new opportunity and was lured in by a higher than normal salary for my job. When I started, he told me about a patient of his sending him nudes. He explained that he offered her $4,000 a month to send him any photos or videos, but she didn't take him up on the offer. Within the month, he was head over heels for another woman. We're just going to call her BB. He seemed to be having some sort of relationship with her through socials, and she was sending him nudes regularly. So he was overly excited to meet her. He made her case seem like it was a big deal, like it was a career-altering case. Her teeth were already more or less perfect, but he gave her a full ride, whole new smile for free. I'm not exaggerating when I say her teeth before were nothing like some of the unfortunate cases he has posted on his socials. Up to this point, he was always very insistent that I film as much as possible and recorded every patient. However, with BB, he was very insistent, but then shifted on me when she came in. He had me set up cameras for an interview with her, but then sent myself and everyone else home right at 5 p.m. and did the interview with her completely alone.
What do you guys think happened there? Why do you think he sent them home? Remember, his wife and daughters work with him too.
Day, I don't actually know what happened with them. A few weeks later, she bailed on him with some sort of collaboration because her kid had the flu, to which he became very upset with her and inevitably burning whatever they had to the ground. The next big deal patient was a great girl named Blank. I'm actually still friends with her. Her case was unique. A caricature artist drew a picture of her, put some emphasis on her teeth. She was an extreme case, not gonna lie, and the video went viral. Dr. Kenny saw this as a potential to boost his career and made a deal with her to collaborate for a free smile makeover. He details the surgery that he watched. The second.
So in other words, he's not really doing smiles for people that need them. He wants collabs to get his name out there more. That's scary, in my opinion.
Is that he expected this woman to be by herself as she had confided in him that she was having some relationship troubles. When she showed up with her boyfriend, he was unsettled by it, kept his cool for the most part, but definitely questioned her about why she brought him and took it as a chance to be that swoop-in guy and badmouth her boyfriend at every opportunity. He would make comments to her in the middle of interviews and procedures, just like the rest of them, take your top off type of comments that he would laugh off as if being a total creep was hilarious. Her case was the catalyst for me quitting. He sent me to New Mexico to film Blank with her friends and do some interviews. These girls never agreed to do any of that. When I showed up, they told me I could film, but they were not going to do any interviews. The footage was decent for a bowling alley, but she was just drinking with her friends while her boyfriend participated in his bowling league. Kenny, however, was not happy. He insisted that I should have interrupted the bowling league to film her bowling. He was also upset that her friends weren't going to get anyone's blank hard.
So he's sending camera crews to go follow people that he's obsessed with to video them.
In his opinion, my footage was useless. He also had this idea that she was going to walk through the desert in a bikini in mid-December to some Alicia Keys song. He was mad I didn't get that shot. Oh my God. The Mama Todd ordeal was pretty calm from my perspective. I've seen the stories about him messaging girls who entered the giveaways, but I never saw any of it firsthand. He was mostly upset with me that his collaboration with Mama Todd didn't earn him 1 million followers overnight. He also talked about all of this leading to his own Netflix show where he wanted to reach out to celebrities for work and eventually travel the country in a bus and work on patients that way. That travel part never made sense to me because his permanent teeth are made in a lab he owns 4 doors down from his office.
So in other words, he wanted to be the Tim Ballard of rescuing people and becoming the hero in the dentist community and, you know, being this, in my opinion, I'm just going to call it the savior complex. He has that same Messiah attitude. This whole thing just makes me cringe.
Machines were huge, and I'm no expert, but these type of machines would take hours to make these teeth, and I can't see these things being accurate if they're moving and bouncing around. This occasion I can go into detail was with a girl who I don't even know her name. She was easily under 25. She looked young for sure. Kenny was trying to convince her to come down to have her teeth taken care of by him without her husband or boyfriend, not sure what he was to her. He did not want her going to Kenny alone, and Kenny wanted her to come in after hours. Kenny used Kayla, his front desk assistant, to smooth things over with the boyfriend and convince him to let this girl come to Kenny for work. Kenny talked to Kayla about how he thought it was funny seeing these jealous, insecure men upset about their wives and their girlfriends coming to him for work.
Maybe I should message him and see if he wants to fix my teeth. Maybe I should take him on and say, hey, you can fix my teeth. My teeth were shitty too. And say, you can fix mine, and take Kyle. Kyle would love to get in office with this guy.
He got her there, and it was super uncomfortable. Kenny would turn on Backstreet Boys songs that were popular in 1997 and sing some of the words to this girl. She was clearly too young to even know the songs. So for her, he was just coming off super creepy. She kept asking what he was doing, and he kept having to explain that he was singing to her. Oh my God, cringe. She ended up being taken back to her hotel after something he gave her made her nauseous. But I'm not really sure beyond that because I quit working for him before he finished her case with permanent teeth. Same week that I quit, 2 other dentists.
What did he give her that made her super nauseated, and who took her back to her hotel room? That's a little,
Just quit on him, as well as a lab tech 1 week later. When I quit, he went to his TikTok saying that he fired me, making me look bad. This former employee then texted me and added a little more about the BB situation from the beginning. I also forgot to mention in that note that when the BB ordeal was going on, he asked if I would back up his story to his wife so that he could travel to East Texas and spend the weekend with her without the stress of his wife being nearby. Wife is aware of all of the stuff that he does, but she also consistently tells herself that she's being crazy and that he wouldn't do that, etc. Okay, go to part 2.
I honestly, a part of me feels bad for the wife and his adult children. This seems like a very toxic, abusive relationship. Again, in my opinion, I am assuming that she stayed all of this time for fear of retribution. That's my assumption.
I'm going to put the audio recording of Dr. Kenny abusing his staff in the next video because I'm running out of time.
All right, we're going to go to the next one so you guys can hear that, and then we will be done for today. This is just horrifying, honestly. Like,
okay, this is part.
All right, here we go, y'all. Yeah, absolutely, Hope. Yep, absolutely does. Absolutely. And again, hats off to Becca Day and the other TikTokers who have been all over this and using their voices for something good.
Part 2 of a former employee of Dr. Kenny speaking out, and this is the audio recording that he has that he recorded secretly when Dr. Kenny was abusing another staff member. I've tried to enhance it a little bit, just kind of bear with me.
Seriously, I'm so unimpressed with your professional ability other than trying to talk to.
He's just cussing him out up one side and down the other.
I'm unimpressed with everything.
He's unimpressed with everything.
Fucking thing else that you have to offer. Truly, I'm like, bro, show up, show out, make everything fucking perfect.
Did you get that? You guys might have to slow that down and turn up your volume or AirPods, but
Because I'm the only person you have to do it for. I have to be perfect for every fucker out there. And I show up every fucking day. So make sure I do. I don't take time off, bitch. Why? Because I literally care about every fucking
Ooh. Nope. Sorry. That man needs laid out on his ass. I don't know if that was a man or a woman he was talking to, but that was so uncalled for. Okay. And then
I have found
I'm going to play this one too, because she definitely knows of some of the things going on.
video that proves, in my opinion, that Dr. Kinney's wife is fully aware as to what he has been doing on social media to patients, to young women. The woman that he sent this to, I will have more to share about her story later, because she was very, very, very close to Dr. Kenney professionally. All I'm going to say for now, I'll share more on her story later. But this is a video that he sent to this woman who he had a professional working relationship with. And this is his wife's response.
All right. I just wanted to ask you if since going through it right now, if I could send her a dick pic. Yeah. No, I can't.
No.
But she's going through it.
I can't deal with you.
Sorry, I tried.
So in my opinion, I believe wifey knows what he's doing.
I mean, in my opinion, that's not as bad as some of the other stuff that we've seen. I hate to say that. It's still super cringe, especially considering this woman had a working relationship with him. But this one didn't bother me as bad as some of the other ones do. Granted, he sends unsolicited D pics to very young women. Very young. All of it is bad. All of this. So again, we'll see, there's so many of these. Okay, we'll do one more.
Right, y'all, I have a huge...
We'll do one more. I know we could do this. There's so much on this guy. And this is just Becca's account. Becca has done great, but there's other people that have done really good too.
Huge Dr. Kenney update, and it surprisingly has showed us that wifey does not co-sign Dr. Kenney's behavior. So I received this message this afternoon, and I'm going to read it to you guys. My daughter dated Dr. Kenney's son for 2 years, and we both got our teeth done by him. From the minute we met him, he was awful. His humor is disgusting, and my husband wanted to unalive him. The way he's acting is...
Revival, you'll get your answer in this one right here. You're spot on.
Him all the time, except in his daily, he's way more mean. His son hates him, and Kenney is so ugly to him and has been for years. His son is so sweet and nothing like him. Kenney verbally abused him daily.
That's not shocking. I don't think anybody would be shocked by that after seeing what we've seen.
My daughter worked for him for a hot minute when she was 16. The things that he would say to her, like, oh, hey, you need to strip right now since I'm doing your mom's teeth for free.
She was 16.
When word got out that she was quitting, he told her to go F herself and a lot worse. After that, his son, wife, and daughters got mad at him. Of course, they all gave in, but we didn't allow our daughter over there anymore. After a long while, she had to go over there twice for a short time. The first time, he hid in his room the whole time like a child. The second, he spoke to his son, but acted like she was invisible. I've never met a more evil, disgusting human in my life. Then she sent this.
His wife kicked him out. Good for her. Good for her. I hope her and the kids are okay. But he's posted videos of the daughters saying extremely egregious things and thinks it's funny. Like he almost like encourages them. And these are young, very influential girls. And there's actually videos of him talking about sperm with his daughter when she was obviously a minor. And it's just the most cringe thing. Like he has no boundaries whatsoever. None. So there's a lot more to go through too. I didn't expect this to be a part 3, but we are going to do a part 3. I want to keep it at an hour just so people can watch. If anybody's been a victim of Dr. Kenney, please report to the board. All the information is in this video. It's also on Becca's TikTok, many other places. You can reach out to the Texas board. This man, men like this, all of these people need to be pulled right back down to earth and not be in positions like this to harm and continually re-victimize. Because these people are going to him, trusting him to fix, and we all rely so heavily, like our mouth, people with messed up teeth, you guys I'm sure a lot of you are not proud of your smiles or happy with your smiles. It is very self-conscious. And the fact that he's holding this over their heads for such a period of time, doesn't even finish their teeth if he doesn't get what he wants out of it, makes me completely disgusted. Now, again, as we heard in this, just to kind of recap, he does have pending litigation going on with an alleged victim that claims he groped her. There's also sanctions with the bar that he has had. He is also being sued by, or he is suing, I think he is suing another dentist for calling him out and saying what he is. Jenny, me too. Like I have a very twisted sense of humor at times, but this is one of those places that there's no business for it, right? There's nothing in this that would make this appropriate. These are young women. He is sending camera crews to follow these people. That's scary to me. And LDS Church, where are you at on this one? Why haven't you came out and said anything about this guy? He's one of yours too. All I can think of is Tim Ballard's like couples ruse and his use of trying to manipulate women into getting tantric massages and claiming that, the sword is the light or whatever with his, you guys know what I'm referring to, those of you that have followed that stuff. All of these men have just an extra creep factor to them. So I just feel it's really important to get these people named and shamed, at least. That's some of the only thing we can do so less people fall victim to this. And I hope all the people that are waiting on their permanent teeth, because here's the other thing. He gets shut down, which it does say his business is permanently closed online now. It does say permanently closed. But what's going to happen to all of his patients that are waiting on their permanent teeth? Think about that. Like all the money that they already paid, the people that have already paid in advance for these treatment plans, all of that. This is a big issue. So thank you guys for joining me again on another one today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I am off to go clean and do stuff. I started going through and actually making myself notes last night. Y'all, I am so unimpressed with this lawsuit. I have to tell you right quick. I've gotten through this much of it so far, but I am so unimpressed with this. I am actually like, I don't know what these attorneys were thinking. They didn't really proofread. I don't know. Something's weird here with this. I really do too hope. I really do. Like I'm really hopeful that there is some that have already stepped up and offered to help some, but I don't know what his patient load is like, and he doesn't take accurate records. So we will see what happens. Thank you, Twist. We'll be back tomorrow. I think tomorrow we're going to start talking about the lawsuit because there has been additional suits filed. It's just this crazed of 5. What are you looking at? Because that's not what I found. Hold on. Let me show you what I found. Oh, that's his Phoenix, Arizona. He was in Phoenix too. That's right. I forgot. That's why it's pulling that way. That was his Phoenix office. He is no longer working at his office. Good catch, Crazed. That's his old Phoenix. I forgot he had links to Arizona. It doesn't shock me, honestly, now that I remember all that. But he has supposedly quit his dental office in Texas. Granted, if there's no other dentists, yes, Crazy, you're good. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. That was his Phoenix one. Thank you for grabbing that or for alerting me to that. Oh, right, Beaverhausen? Absolutely. Hey, Rachel. Tomorrow is Friday the 13th. I wonder what kind of bug I'll have following me around tomorrow. Jenny, I think he's about to get his awakening. I have a feeling he is going to get the fame he wanted. I just don't know if it'll be the Netflix series that he actually was trying for. I think that he's probably going to be the conversation around a Netflix documentary, but probably not in the light he would like it to be. But he's got lots of footage. Yeah, I do too. Craze of 5. Absolutely, I do too. And Beaverhausen, I really think that I would hate to know what they've experienced, honestly, like that family. I would hate to know what they've experienced, but according to court documents, just so you guys are aware, the wife has filed for divorce. So she did initiate filing for divorce. That is in the process. I don't know if it's a PR thing, if it's to protect assets. In these situations, they're very complicated when you have assets, businesses, houses, scandals. There's a lot to protect, and sometimes people do end up getting divorced for the purpose of saving assets and things of that nature. Now, granted, I really genuinely hope she's getting divorced and kicking him out. Allegedly, she did kick him out, according to that message too that we just saw, for her own good. I hope that she is taking her power back. That's what I genuinely hope. But we also have to be aware that sometimes in situations like this, when there's assets and money and businesses, that people will protect that first and foremost before they will even protect themselves. And that's really unfortunate, but that's the world we live in, because when you're used to a certain lifestyle and that crashes, and there will be, I don't know where this is headed, if there's going to be pending litigation with some of these people. The other thing is too, is it's, there's allegations coming forward in some of his text messages and stuff that are a little bit inappropriate, or really inappropriate for a doctor patient. But a lot of these people, they did unfortunately send nudes. So a lot of people are afraid of talking out about him and saying anything, because he also holds the power. He's got nude photos of some of these people. So it's almost like blackmail in essence. It's really sad. Oh, Rachel, thank you. Yeah, I'm struggling, y'all. I can't even talk about it or think about it. Like, that's why I'm trying to just continue on and do something else. But it's been rough. So, all right. On that note, I got to get out of here before I cry. So bye, y'all. Have a great day.